This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, October the 20th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Welcome to the Weather Extreme video. And there's a look at our surface map this morning, and we certainly have great weather in store for us. If you want a forecast for the next 5 days, just spell dry or high pressure. In the upper atmosphere, of course, this cool morning this morning as well as tomorrow morning is being brought to you by a nice closed low over the Great Lakes. That closed low responsible for a fairly substantial trough over the eastern third of the country. That flow will be changing, though, with time, and you'll see on the GFS as we get to that model run that we'll be getting under a ridge for the next few days, and again, that keeps us dry. Temperatures still a bit coolish in the central part of the country with some pockets of freezing weather. No freezing weather here, although I suspect some spots getting into the upper 30s. The temperatures in central Alabama generally in the mid 40s, but that means, of course, some spots getting a little cooler than that. Now, if you want the forecast, the QPF pretty well tells you. This is out through Thursday, basically. And you can see that it's going to be dry. Now, the tropics have become a little bit more active. We've got a couple of areas of disturbed weather. First, the one in the Caribbean, approaching central Caribbean. And that one, while not likely to develop into anything in the next 48 hours, is moving into an area that appears a little bit more favorable for some sort of development. So we'll certainly be watching that one. In the meantime, there's another one out in the south central Atlantic, I guess you'd say. And that one, not especially likely to become a storm anytime soon. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run. And this is the upper air pattern for tomorrow, and you can see that the big closed low over the Great Lakes is migrated into southeast Canada and taking the trough out into the Atlantic just off the east coast of the United States. And, of course, that then positions a surface high basically over about West Virginia, making its influence felt over nearly the eastern half of the country. We stay under high pressure on Monday as the high pressure settles in over the Carolinas. It pretty much stays there on Tuesday as well. But we see that in the upper atmosphere, the ridge has become a little bit stronger as the ridge moves our way. And, of course, the troughs and the westerlies move a little bit further to the north. And so at the surface, again, that paves the way for the surface high over the Carolinas to keep its influence felt on us. Of course, notice that over in Texas and Oklahoma, moisture is beginning to return. And you can see that, again, not much change on Wednesday. And even on Thursday, there's not a great deal of change. But even by Thursday, you see that moisture is beginning to return to our west. And then by Friday, we see in the upper atmosphere that the large trough and low out over the western United States is beginning to migrate our way with a nice short wave positioned just to the northwest of the Four Corners area. And, of course, that should be helping to produce a storm system coming out of the southern Rockies. But in the meantime, moisture, again, returning, especially along and to the west of the Mississippi River. Then by Saturday, a week from today, it looks like we'll have to be talking about some rain possibilities, although timing may change on this before we get there, because you know how weather systems are and models project at a certain speed, but then the things develop a little slower or perhaps a little faster. So we'll be watching for the possibility of rain. But right now, looks great for the next 5, 6, almost 7 days. Going out into voodoo country around the 31st, Halloween, we see a rather flat pattern over the United States with a little bit of almost split flow. We've got a little trough over Baja in northern Mexico, but doesn't look like that's likely to affect us that much. And even when we get into the 1st of November, around the 2nd, we see that we do have a fairly substantial short wave moving through the flow, which would indicate the possibility of a wet event for us around the 2nd. But indeed, the pattern's still not looking extremely cold. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Extreme video for today. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I hope that your day is a great one. And if you have a chance, come on out to the Shelby Blues and Barbecue Festival at Old Town Helena at the Amphitheater Park there. I'll be emceeing that event from 1 to 8 p.m. Great food and a lot of great blues kind of music. Hope to see you there. In the meantime, Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news in all of central Alabama.
In back-to-back ratings periods,
more people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.